So after the modded Lobotomy Corporation run, I decided to do a tier list of all the modded abnos we encountered in that run. If you want to watch the full run, there's 3 videos of it, each becoming substantially longer than the last. If you'd like, there's a link to the folder I had at the end of the run in the description below. Anyways, enjoy. Oh my gosh, it's a Lobotomy Corporation stream, guys. Sort of a Lobotomy Corporation stream. We haven't done one in forever. Mic don't work, by the way. Why must you lie to me? No, my stream was just muted. I swear to God. This fucking guy here. Yeah, it's called user error, you nerd. Hello, Backstreets. Yeah, okay, so everybody say hello to the Backstreets. The Backstreets are here, guys. Please do not be too rude to them, all right? Type Backstreet. Come on. Guys, they live in the Backstreets already. You guys can't, you're kicking a man while he's down, okay? Give me enkephalin. No, I'm not gonna give you enkephalin. You don't even work for me, nutsack. You work for freaking AN. Since we finished the 2023 Lobotomy Corporation run, I wanted to do a tier list based on the modded abnos that we experienced. Did you get all the portraits you need? I'm pretty sure there's like a total of 56 of them, I think. Is that about correct, Voskram? I may or may not be missing actually a few here and there. Kind of want to make sure this is the Backstreets. This is the Backstreets reintroduction to Zaycorp in a long time, okay? I want to make sure that they are nice and comfortable and the wing or our corporation is not harassing them, okay, guys? We're not going to harass the Backstreets, right? They're already going through a lot. They live in the Backstreets. They're white killers. It went from a class war to a race war. What the fuck, Zekron? You're a Sephiroth. Why does your head look AI generated? That is such an amazing insult. Why does your face look AI generated? It does. Okay, so basically, if we ever encounter a abnormality that I wanted to go check out some more stuff, we'll probably go check them out here. Weird part is that some of the abnormalities that are on the tier list are actually not on the codex. A lot of them are not on the codex for some reason. Is there actually a limit to how far the codex can go before it starts breaking or something? Yes, that's okay. So that's what I figured, because it even says that we're at 95%, but we still managed to get oh, we actually didn't get the true ending. Huh, the light's still happening. That's crazy. So yeah, if we really need to go check out an abno, we just go and check there. Anyways, so first off is going to be a good old all in a dream. This jabroni right here. This is exactly what Zayans should be. One issue that I see with Zayans is that no, it's not a smash your pass stream. Come on. I think Zayans should not be really a stat check because it's like almost impossible to stat check with the Zayan. They should try to mess with the game without it just being I kill your nugget, basically. All in a dream is if you get a failed work result on this guy, he actually crashes the game. He's basically like nothing there, or not nothing there. He's like the button, don't touch me, but in abno form. It's actually really cool. I thought this guy was sick as hell, but it's almost impossible to get a bad work result on him. It's so hard to get a bad work result. What all Zayans should strive for. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so all in a dream should be in what all Zayans should strive for, because I think he's a perfect Zayan. I genuinely think it is. Zayans that try to mess with the game, but it just not being I kill nuggets, are great. I wonder where Skullbro sits in. He's a tutorial abno. He's there to exist so you can work on him and realize how the game works. I believe he didn't unlock the special thing about Skelly Bro I gave you. Yeah, I think I may have missed a few things. I think I actually missed the flesh idol thing too. So I feel like if we do another modded run, we should probably add the stuff that I missed. Telepult, was he a he? I think it was a he that gave Wa gear, didn't he? Honestly, I feel like the creator of the mod actually wanted to make a Wa abno, but he decided to stick with the he because that's what he was in Limbus Company. Really cool because it had the special effect of making somebody a furry. Not for the fact that he turns you into a furry, but the fact that there's like a transformation mechanic or something. Like a transformation mechanic is kind of sick. It didn't have to be a furry, mind you. Cool and unique mechanic. Ambling Pearl. So what Ambling Pearl did is that when he breached, he put green sludge all over the corporation, and you had to kill the green sludge to lower his resistance. It was okay. Solid abno. We'll go with solid. It wasn't really that great. I think the issue with them is that it's like, I think it was a he. Was it a wall actually? He got drowned out in the giant wave of ALEPH abnormalities and all that such. It was a wall, I think. I think it was a wall. Yeah. It's kind of hard to get yourself noticed, especially if you look like Ambling Pearl. Ambling Pearl's a little disgusting looking, let's be honest. Yeah, it's kind of hard for him to get noticed when he is surrounded by a bunch of ALEPHs and walls that give ALEPH gear and such, you know? I think it was still a solid abnormality. I like the idea of when an abnormality breaches, it does something else than just I walk around, I WM1 people, you know? Oh, what's his name? Mysterious something. Hold on. Shadow Criminal. Was it Shadow Criminal? Yeah, Shadow Criminal. Fucking sick. Sick. I love Shadow Criminal. Peak design. Peak design. I love this dude. Oh my gosh, he's so cool looking. I love these type of abnos. They're so cool looking. I kind of wish I got him earlier because he's a WA gear and it's kind of difficult to use WA gear when you have 50 million ALEPH gears in your base. Dusky Star, I think, was absolutely amazing. This is what tool abnormalities should strive for. You did? Yes, I think Dusky Star was insane. It was so cool. I feel like more abnormalities should actually be like a raid boss. I remember you complaining about it. Well, keeping it in your base sucks. That's the thing. But it being a raid boss that you look forward to beat is sick as hell. Oh my god, there's two nutsacks in the Backstreets. What are you guys doing in the Backstreets, actually? Why are there two nutsacks in the Backstreet and there's a carbon in the Backstreets? If you don't know what Dusky Star did, when you had a nugget, grab it and hold on to it for 2 minutes, the entire place melts down. The entire place. I think like all the Clifots hit or they all hit 0 and everybody breaches. Your goal was to bring the nugget who went crazy back, bring him back to normal, like hit him with white damage to bring him back to normal, and then return the abnormality tool back. I think that's how you got the armor, right? And that was actually a really cool way to do a raid boss. That was sick. Having to try to bring a nugget back to sanity while your entire facility is breaching is sick as hell. That's so cool. And it comes with a very rewarding item if it wasn't for the fact that the armor really made the game really choppy, because the armor produced HP particle effects, and that really screws you up. What all tools should strive for. Like, this is peak tool design. No, how about we call it peak tool design? I love these type of tools. It's so cool. The issue with tools in Lobotomy Corporation is that they all feel so useless. Like, they just don't really have much of a purpose, and the ones that actually do kind of affect the game, it almost doesn't feel necessary to use them. Heart of Aspiration is like one of the like go-tos because it just gives stat bonuses, but the stat bonuses aren't big enough for it to really matter too often. Meanwhile, other tools are like, here, have a really huge stat boost, but also I'm gonna kill you in like 20 seconds, you know? Once you hit level 4 nuggets, they fall off hard. Yeah, they almost don't really have much of a reason for them. Eternal Smile, peak design, peak design. Eternal Smile was sick as hell. I love this dude. He gave you the Riz Smile. I actually, honestly, I would love to have a way to just have Eternal Smile in my base at all times so I could give anybody the Riz Smile. No head pop. I guess that's the one issue. It said that when, I think it's when it hits 0 Clifoth, right? All the nuggets with the Riz Smile get their head popped. They didn't get their heads popped. Give them the Riz Roblox face. I mean, that's what basically he did. That's what Eternal Smile did. It was so cool. Can you actually see it in here? Oh, you don't get to see it. Yeah, it doesn't show no associated EGO gift. I mean, his weapon is really cool looking. I love the look of his weapon. His armor, I don't really like the red too much, but I think the red is very fitting. If you can design your nugget around the red as well. I think if you gave the nugget like red hair or something, it would really fit. It's such a cool abno, despite only being a he. I got a wing migration pass. Welcome, Nutsack. I don't know if we can allow you in Zaycorp. I don't want to take Aeon's employees, you know? There's 20 more Nutsack, 500 Nutsacks. That'd be awful. Like, we would run out of a Keflin so quickly. Das Wife, peak design. Absolutely love it. I love how she works. She works in tandem with Das Shoot. Absolutely amazing. I love the fact that her armor makes it so she can't get shot or killed by people with Das Shoot's weapon. It's so cool. Absolutely 10 out of 10. Also, she's really hot. That's probably also a plus. Actually, speaking of, Blubbering Toad, I feel like Blubbering Toad should have gotten a WA or he variation of it, because Zayans are by far one of the most useless ranks for abnormalities. They just don't do much. They only work for like the first 5 days and then they get rotated out so quickly. Like, I love the frog. He's so goofy, especially when his eyes are going absolutely mental. But yeah, it's like you get to use his gear for like a day or two tops, because if you get Skullbro and then you get Blubbering Toad, the next abnormality is probably going to be like a he or a Teth, and then once you get the Teth gear, you're just gonna throw the Teth gear on everybody that you can, you know? Was this gift good? And let's see, can I find him in here? Let's see, here he is. HP. Is this good? Is this a good EGO gift? 2 eyeballs on your head like hair buns. Oh, I guess his armor's Teth, which I guess is nice, but yeah, just his weapon being a Zayn kind of sucks. It's a white damage Zayn though. No, this doesn't work because it's a slow speed. Yeah, this weapon's so bad. It's a slow speed melee weapon, which is awful. The worst thing at the start is melee weapons because your nuggets don't have the high enough justice to use melee weapons properly. That's why ranged white weapons are some of the best weapons in the game. Does it look like the EGO suits in Limbus? Yeah. I think this abno mod might have been done before they actually came out. Most melee is pitiful until WoW. It's not really that. It's just the fact that nuggets can't really hit with melee weapons at the start because they don't have enough justice to hit fast enough, especially with a speed slow type weapon. Like Skullbros is a normal speed and it's really hard to hit with. The most dangerous thing that you have to deal with at the very start of Lobotomy Corporation is Amber Dawn. Amber Dawn is one of the most deadliest fights you have to deal with early game because your nuggets aren't fast enough to hit with a melee weapon when it shows up. So you need to get a ranged weapon as soon as you can. Moving on. Something Reaper? Is this called Mist Reaper or something? I think it's called Mist Reaper, I believe. Is that what this one was called? This was a pretty cool design. Basically, she's a stat check. She's a WoW stat check. The stat check was like pretty fine. Yeah. Ooh, really sick armor actually too. I love this armor design. So cool. I don't think we got the EGO gift. What the hell is this? Is it actually literally just a white square? That'd be really funny. I kind of wish we got this now. I wonder if we could actually grind this out. Oh, she's a justice trainer too. Yeah. If a play temperance is level 3 or lower, they will rush towards Mist Reaper as soon as they enter the room, then Mist Reaper will kill them. Weirdly enough, this feels like honestly a he. This feels like he mechanics. He mechanics love doing this whole like stat check, I kill you type of thing. The sensor square of doom. I'm really curious. Actually, I think my save does have Mist Reaper in it. So I think we actually could go into the save if we wanted to see if we could get this on somebody. It's a 2% chance though. Wait, isn't that basically an ALEPH tier? Wait, this ALEPH has 8% chance. What? Tiamat has a 2% chance. You have an 8% chance. Is it just different? Yeah, I think this was a solid abno. Solid abno, but she also has really nice gear. I think her gear is really nice looking. Who is next? It is Ardor Blossom. Solid and cool gear. I love Ardor Blossom's gear. It's so cool looking. Problem is that it's a he though. Again, he's and was kind of get drowned out. Oh, it's so nice. I love it. We need a Lobcore remaster. We've been asking for that for a long time now. Blazing Bull. Hold on. I think this is the funny hex color checker. Yes, I think this is what other abnormalities need to do. It's a cool and unique mechanic. Whoever did the Blazing Bull actually was like actually amazing. If the number value is higher for red than all the other two numbers for green and blue, then he automatically breaches. That person works on him. It's so sick. I love that type of stuff. It's so cool. No other abnormality does that. It's so sick. Funny hand slap instead of the bull ramming. Yeah, so I wanted to add him to the 10 out of 10 at max speed because he's so goofy looking when he does breach though. The body just comes out of the head and then just does a quick slap. It's so funny to me. I have to throw him in cool unique mechanic though, because the mechanic of it checking the hex values for red is absolutely amazing. My opinion, raid bosses should be exclusive to ALEPHs. WAs are troublesome enough, but not enough to need multiple departments. Honestly, I feel like what modded abnormalities should be, they should be similar to a monster hunter fight basically, in the part where that is what you're looking forward to when you encounter a new modded abno, is you should encounter a new unique boss fight essentially, because otherwise you just basically, oh, new modded abno, I just got a new modded abno, let's go ahead and fight it real quick, or let's go ahead and research it real quick. I got the gear. Oh well, there you go, move on, next abno. It would, if you create more raid bosses in the game, it gives you more content to basically work with. I like microwing in Lobotomy Corporation actually, I really do. I wish there was more to it, and I wish there was more to it without the game just stuttering and such. It gives more memory leaks too. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. God, what is this thing called? The yin and yang jabroni. What was this? I think we had to delete this guy, didn't we? I don't think he's in the codex. Good and bad faith, I think. Good and evil. It's called good and evil. There we go. I think its gear was nice. Can I find this guy in our codex? Yeah, again, I think we had to delete this guy, so I don't think he's in the codex anymore. Yeah, it looks like he's missing. I think his gear was nice. He was really solid. He was like I think it was a solid abno, basically. He was a solid abno. Solid abno. We'll put him in solid abno. Ebony Queen Apple. The weapon was broken. That's right, the weapon was broken. I'm gonna give it it wasn't as bad as Snow White Apple. Snow White Apple is fucking awful when she breaches, and Ebony Queen Apple wasn't that bad. So I think I'm gonna put that in this tier list. The weapon being bugged and doing like 1,000 damage each hit was user rarer, I'm pretty sure. It was interacting with Gebeta's department really weird, awkwardly. If a nugget in Gebeta's department had Ebony Queen's apple's weapon, the buffs and bonuses that Gebeta gives bugged out pretty much. So yeah, Ebony Queen apple, she was good, wasn't as bad as Snow White, so I'll give her that pretty much. Masquerade, peak design, absolutely peak design. I love the look of Masquerade, really cool outfit too. I really like Masquerade's look. I like the, what is it? What would you call it? Renaissance? The Renaissance look, the British look, which is really funny too, because 2 of the 3 of these do give you a shank as your weapon, I believe. No, wait, no, hold on. This one gives you a cane gun. This one gives you actually a spear. This one gives you the shank. There was somebody else that gave you a shank, I think. Gossipium. Gossipium showed up in our run like super late, completely negligent, didn't do anything. What actually did it do? Yeah, we just got it super late. It's a test, so we didn't even get to check what it did. The Watcher. I remember the Watcher. Hold on. Yeah, the Watcher was a wall abnormality that gave a fucking pale ALEPH scythe. We haven't reached that yet, but this happens way often than it should. I think I might have to actually just go with this right here. I think we have to go with this right here. Otherwise the tier list is going to be too big. Judgment Bird wannabes. Yeah, it's like, again, there's only 3 pale weapons in Lobotomy Corporation. There's White Knight, which is super hard to get. There's Judgment Birds, and then there's Crumbling Armors. And there's a reason for that. It's because pale damage is really strong. It's strong against the vast majority of the abnormalities. And sure enough, you see that a lot with some of these modded abnos. Oh god, the nightmares. Oh my gosh. The fucking, yeah, hold on, wait, yeah, they're all right here. Where's the TV at? Yeah, hold on, let's grab the TV while we're at it. The fucking nightmare people were just so goofy. I don't even recall exactly what they did. I remember this one, the nightmare smoke would spawn smoke inside the base, and the smoke would do damage, like a lot of damage to your nuggets. Your nuggets could actually die to the smoke if you weren't paying attention. Absolutely goofy gang. I do love this like archetype series that this guy made, but it's really just silly. I think tool abnos are really hard to make usable or useful. It makes sense why they're kind of just not that great. The tool abnos, for God's sakes. The sex mod, good old Fear in Existence. I would say probably solid and cool gear. He eats here in Kefalin, and he was like he was baby Nothing There. I thought it was really cool. It was a WoW version of Nothing There. I'm trying to think, did he actually heal? Oh, I can't check what the weapons did. Oh, he gave you ALEPH armor actually too. That's crazy. That's actually kind of neat. Usually it's ALEPH weapons they give, but no, it was a WoW that gives ALEPH armor. The armor heals you, and then I think the weapon life steals, right? Was this the one that increases how much healing you get, or was that Witch's Cauldron? Oh my god, lost in the streets. Top Nap, get back here. The Backstreets are not safe. Oh, I bet rude to stick that knife in me chest, didn't it, bro? I love how, yeah, I love seeing the shanks. It's so goofy to see like people running around with hammers, spears, like blades and such, and you just have a shank. Drifting Fox, cool. Solid design. It's a Limbus abno. That's really all I gotta say about it. It didn't really do too much when it breached, but I think it didn't do too much when it breached because we killed it too quickly. I think it was a really cool abno though. I think the gear was cool too, because it had 2 different gears. It had one for Heathcliff and it had one for Altus, I believe, right? Or was it Yasang? I think it actually might have had Heathcliff and Yasang's outfit. It was really neat. It had 2 different sets of armor and it had the umbrellas. You gotta showcase the gear while tearing the abnos. I kind of can't unless I start the game, and I don't want to start the game. I'm gonna be honest. We're gonna be stuck at the loading screen for like 4 minutes. Did the armor passive just break the game sometimes? I don't recall the armor having any unique passes about it, but then again, it's because the armor was he gear, and by the time we got him, we had a whole bunch of WoW gear, sadly. Thank God. Oh, sweet. Top Dep's back into the nest. Thank God. Welcome back, bro. How was your time? How was your time in the Backstreets? It added shield and sinking. I do remember it dealt sinking damage. I don't recall the shield thing. I do remember there were some abnos that we did that added shields and such. Maybe that was him, yeah. Hammer of Light. I don't know if I wanted to add this to the tier list, honestly, because this is a Lobotomy Corporation abno. It's from the alpha. And were tools a thing? Were tools a thing in the alpha? I don't think they were, because this would 100% basically be a tool. Either way, I'm just gonna say it's a solid abno. Yeah, Hammer of Light I would say is pretty useful actually. You sacrifice a nugget to basically clear. It's kind of like a backwards clock now that I think about it. It's a murder hobo version of backwards clock. Mystery Reaper. Wait, Mist Reaper is a scrapped abno as well? Really? This is the Lobotomy Corporation abno. Wait, is this in the Alpha Lobotomy Corporation or is this a scrapped one? Because we do have another scrapped abno actually, which should show up in, where is he actually? Can we grab him right now? Yeah, here he is right here. Rasputin. Yeah, I believe Rasputin was a scrapped abno as well. And I think he was actually really cool. I solid and really sick gear. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Despite being a Teth, peak design, absolutely love his gear. He gave you a silencer. He gave you a silenced gun. He was so sick looking. And also I like the whole madness effect that he gives you. Paranoia effect is what it did, which I'm pretty sure the person just ripped the asset from Darkest Dungeon. I'm pretty sure they weren't going to use the actual Darkest Dungeon asset for him, but yeah, they did use that for it. It's a really, actually no, I think it's a really cool Teth too, because it actually is a bit of a dangerous Teth if left unchecked. If you just keep working on it for zero, like just to go about the day, you do have to kind of be worried about it a little bit. Do you stream to the Backstreets like that scene from Megamind where he has a light show of his face in the sky? It's like a walk-in theater, but it's for the entire Backstreets basically. We have like 4 monitors that go around in circles, you know?
If we were rich enough, I would install a giant globe like how there's one in Las Vegas, so that way the Backstreets can watch it on the giant globe.
But sadly we can't afford a giant globe yet. Here we go. Here he is. Here's the other boy. What all Zayn should strive for. Absolutely love this interference foil. Interference foil, absolutely 10 out of 10 Zayn. What he does is that when you start working on him, he puts visual cues. He does visual warnings on the screen to try to trick you that something's going on. Like when you start working on him, he'll make first warning proc. When you start working on him, one of the Sephiroths will start telling you that somebody escaped. Disgusting looking EGO. It's so weird. Yeah, his EGO kind of sucks. It's a bit disgusting. It's a Zayn gear, so it sucks in that regard too. I really like the design though, because he's kind of goofy because he turns into this hideous abomination thing, but he's also like adorable looking too. He's the misinformation spreader. Yeah, that's a good way to put him. Peak gaslighting abno. Yeah, it's again, this is what Zayans should strive for. They affect the game not by trying to kill your nuggets, because that's not exactly what Zayans are supposed to do, but by being kind of an obnoxious distraction. Ivalidium, I would say solid abno, not cool gear though. I don't, here, if you guys want to see the gear, this gear basically makes you look prego. That's the gear. I think this abno is really nice though. I love this abno. It's really sick. The gear, not so much. When the abnormality breaches, it actually does feel like a kind of dangerous. It's like a he version of megahertz essentially, but a bit slower than megahertz, I think. What do you mean the abno makes you look prego? Mate, look at the fucking gear. You guys better behave, otherwise I'm putting you in the pregno outfit. La vie en gris. This is what peak tool design? Yeah, this is peak tool design. I feel like tools should try to reward you with some kind of gear, and this does it in the way of gambling your enkephalin, your PE boxes. But you could kind of fix the gambling by it. I think it's like, if based on the light on it, the more brighter it is, the higher of a chance you get to get the good stuff. Did we even get the armor from this though? The more you spend, the better the chances. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, and then there's also like other bad effects too that can happen, like it can make your nuggets panic, and you can make your nuggets get killed. The weapon, not the EGO suit. Did we get, so we got the weapon but not the EGO suit? Yeah, there's quite a few things that we missed out in this run. If we do another modded run, yeah, I feel like the ones that we missed out on we should definitely put back. Price of fucking silence. God, do I fucking love this abno. Oh, is this abno amazing. I genuinely think Price of Silence should be in base Lobotomy Corporation. Out of all of these abnos, I genuinely feel like this is the one abno that should have been in the base game. What does it do? When you're working on it, if you press the spacebar, his Clyfoth goes down. And if his Clyfoth hits 0, he does the Hawkma effect where he kills a bunch of nuggets. I think the reason why this abno should exist is to get you to chill the fuck out with the spacebar and get you practiced and trained for Hawkma. I would make love to Price of Silence. I don't know how you're gonna do that. That's probably very dangerous, and that's also a little terrifying. Is he a Wa that gives ALEPH pale damage? I remember his weapon being pale damage. Is it ALEPH though? Hold on. Is he in the Lamau yeah. Lamau. Wa with ALEPH. Oh my gosh. Yeah, awesome concept, but man, it's annoying. It's like, it's basically train tier. It's train tier of annoying. Not really that hard. Depends on the person, I guess. I mean, that's how I see it. It depends if you're like super dependent on the spacebar or not, which you should be really dependent on the spacebar. The spacebar turns the game into a turn-based game rather than a real-time game. At least it's a pain to earn it. Yeah, I think the issue though is that once you earn the gear, you can just mem rep though. You can just like get rid of them. That's it. That's the issue with like giving a really high rewarding gear for something as simple as this. I feel like if you are going to give such a powerful weapon, a ALEPH pale weapon, you should nerf that weapon if the abnormalities doesn't exist in the facility anymore. Who does that? Is that, yeah, that's like White Knight. White Knight has a special weapon, or the weapon has a special effect if White Knight's in the facility. And if it's gone, the weapon's still good. Like honestly, the weapon's still amazing, but that makes sense because it's a raid boss weapon. You have to beat probably the hardest boss in the game. Second hardest? It's between either Gebera or, no, I think White Knights are definitely harder, yeah. I would say White Knight's harder than Gebera. They should have done is it should have like nerfed the damage to like, instead maybe do black damage instead. That'd actually be an interesting way to do it. White Knight is harder than Gebera? Yeah, I think White Knight's harder than Gebera. It's like White Knight, then Gebera, and then Bina, I think. So yeah, this is honestly, I think this is actually a really amazing abnormality. Also, there is the problem with the armor too. I just remembered what the armor's problem was. If you pause, the person wearing the armor actually starts taking damage. And when you unpause, they take all of that damage based on how long you were paused. I don't think this armor is worth that effect. So it's cool looking armor though. I do like this. I'm not really fond of like the green myself, but I think this is design wise is actually really good. I like this. Me personally, I'm a person who likes black, white, and blue, you know? Just stop pausing, forehead. Doomsday Calendar, peak design. Absolutely, I love this fucking guy. Cool unique mechanic, actually. We'll put him in here. Design wise, I don't really care too much about the look of him, but the mechanic is just amazing. I love the mechanic of this guy. Baby raid boss, pretty much. The Clyfoth meltdown goes down. Suddenly there's a bunch of clay dolls running around the facility, and you have to either kill the clay dolls to reset him back up to his max counter, or he blows up. And then if he blows up, he goes back up to max counter. Absolutely cool. You have basically two options when you're fighting him. You either just ignore him, or you try to take him out. Honestly, I feel like they should have maybe, no, I feel like he would be a wall then. If they made it to where his explosion causes surrounding abnormalities caught in the explosion to lower their Clyfoth, I feel like it would have been it would have caused him to be a way bigger threat, but I feel like that would be probably a Wa tier then at that point. Isn't that Black Noon? It's kind of like a Black Noon, yeah, but he doesn't lower the Clyfoth counter. So once his Clyfoth hits 0, you can just vacate everybody onto the other side of the base, and you could just sit there and wait for him to blow up and then just go back to your work. Go back to doing your job, you know? It's a really cool abno. They did a really good job of making this one work. Would you rather destroy Limbus Company or L Corp? I would rather destroy Limbus Company. I like the L Corp people more than the Limbus Company people. If we're talking about the game, Limbus Company. Jetstream Sam is in the Backstreets, what the fuck? Very gentleman. I would say a solid abno. It was actually really good. I think so. Hold on, I need to fix this tier list a little bit. Need to reorganize some stuff. He didn't really do anything that bad, nor did he really do anything that good either. He just kind of was there. My Form Empties. I don't really know where to put My Form Empties at, actually. Cool mechanic. It was a raid boss if it breached. The weapon wasn't exactly that great. I think the weapon actually put a, what was that stack? What's the stack that My Form Empties gives you? The red circle stack. I think that gave Sin. Was it Sin? It gave you stacks. The weapons also did that too, but yeah, it's fine. What did it do when it breached? Oh, right. Actually, hold on, wait. Yeah, cool and unique mechanic. I thought this was really solid. It was almost like a raid boss also, but what it did is that it would go into an apartment and then it would cause 3 other abnormalities to breach, and you would have to kill the 3 other abnormalities, I believe, before you can kill My Form Empties. It was basically like the Limbus Company boss fight. They actually integrated it into the Lobotomy Corporation like insanely well. I think we only managed to deal with it, like deal with the fight like 2 times, I believe, and then I kind of just let it be. Really cool abno though. Imagine My Form Empties breaching 3 walls. Yeah, I think it was forced to be like keys or lowers, and it would prioritize Limbus Company abnormalities too, I believe. Zavono is the creator of this mod. He made a whole bunch of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He did 6 different mods, and it seems like his goal was to try to make a abnormality for every rank, and this was a Zayn one, which as a Zayn, it works, but it's a Zayn. ALEPH Lantern? It's ALEPH Lantern. I don't really know how else to describe it really, because we got it late into the run. It didn't really do too much. I'll say it's a solid abno though. We'll go with solid abno. One dream, shard of a dream. What is this thing called? Fuck this guy. Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, this wasn't one of the ALEPHs. Saying Fae Lantern wrong unreasonably angered me. Whoa, what's wrong? What am I saying? Any modded ALEPH abno that you come across is almost always going to be hell to deal with. They are so difficult. It's fine if it fucking works. This is one of them that worked though. This This is actually one of the fine ones. The issue with this guy is that I'm pretty sure he's in here. Yeah, he's right here. Look at this work results. Good is a 31 to 33. A 31 to 33. And if you don't get that, there's a decent chance his Clifoth's gonna go down. This thing was so hard to work on. When mod makers make ALEPHs, they take one good look at White and go, yes, I want that. I think that's fine though. Again, I think raid boss abnormalities is actually really cool. I think it's a nice abno, really difficult. That's to be expected, I guess, from ALEPH abno, and it's a modded ALEPH abno. I do think the armor is really cool for it. I think the design of it is really cool, just really difficult to try to get a good work result. Headless Ichthus, solid and cool gear. No, actually, hold on. He needs to go. Oh, where did he go? Lull them out even. We'll put it over there. Really funny abno when you max out the speed, because then he starts clapping on everybody's cheeks. It's so funny. Actually, 10 out of 10 abno when you have 10 times speed. Pink shoes. I think also Lol Lamau even didn't really get to do much, sadly. Not sure if it was just the fact that we were so far ahead in the run. The armor was also kind of silly too. Lazy ass AGO design. That's what it is though, isn't it? It's literally just pink ribbons surrounding you and such. Pinocchio, peak design. I actually really love this guy. Cool and unique mechanic. We'll put it over here. I don't really care much about the gear. I think the gear is really sweet. Bonbon down there is wearing it. Milk Bubble Tea's Bonbon. Mechanics is really sick as hell. It's a he that can actually be very threatening to ALEPH people. Ooh, Sunderfang. I think that the mechanics for it are actually really cool. It's unique. It has unique mechanics going for it. If you had its main weapon, I believe, and if you had the other gears for it, the weaker gears make the other gear, the main gear, stronger. Like a wolf pack, basically. Like you had the alpha wolf and then you had the other wolves around it, which is a really cool design. I don't like the design of the wolf though. I don't like it. It's like, I'm fine with grotesque stuff. Like we have the sex abno right here. It's really disgusting looking and such, but there's something very off about seeing a wolf with a sword impaled on its back through its stomach. It's like still moving. It's grotesque in a very like unnerving way. There's like grotesque, which is what the sex mod is. Fairy Gentleman's grotesque. Interference foil is very grotesque looking, but there's grotesque in an unnerving way. And that's why I'm not really fond of Sunderfang. I think the gear is really neat. I think it was a wall that gives ALEPH gear too, actually, but I am not a fan of the whole sword going through the back of the abdo into the stomach. Feels familiar to someone from Dark Souls. Sif? I mean, Sif didn't have a sword impaled to its back. Put it out of its misery. Teru, peak design. Absolutely love this fucking abdo. Actually sick. Peak design, a little buggy though. Actually, hold on. I love Teru Bozo. It's so sick. The armor's really cool. The weapon's really cool. Only issue is that the armor can sometimes bug, because the effect of the armor is if your nugget that's wearing it runs out of SP and goes crazy, he gets teleported away into the main room of his department and he refreshes SP. It's so cool. Absolutely sick mechanic. Only problem is that it sometimes bugs out and the character is just standing still. We saw that in the video where Deformer Asian was panicking and then he was just stuck in the middle of Central, and then Punishing Bird showed up and started pecking the shit out of him. I think also the abnormality itself is also really cool design. Witch's Cauldron. I'm just gonna put you right here. Witch's Cauldron's really cool. It's baby melting love. It's pretty much Melting Love WA tier version, but it's not as bad as Melting Love though. You can actually have other people hanging out with the person who's affected by Witch's Cauldron's buff without like it potentially killing everybody else. Witch's Cauldron's really cool. I like the design of it. Would be neat if they managed to make the sprite for when it breaches different, because it's literally just a recolored Melting Love. But I mean, like, that's asking for a lot, you know? They already did an amazing job on the abnormality. Golden Apple. Cool mechanic. Where is it? Cool and unique mechanic. I'll go with that. I don't think the mechanic actually ever went off, did it? Whenever Golden Apple breaches, it will sit there. If a nugget's near it as it's dead, before it respawns in its room, it actually kills the nugget that's near it, and then it comes back alive and goes on again. That's what it says it does. We never saw it do that though. I love how everybody still latched onto Yuri. I actually do think that's really sweet. It's obviously because she's like one of the first side characters that we get to interact with and such in Libba's company. Flooding Well, fuck this thing. You go in this tier too. It's kind of like a scorched girl where it blows up. I don't like it. I just don't like how it looks, but it's to be expected. It's a beached whale. It's a beached rotting whale. It's disgusting. It's grotesque. It's grody. Ozma, cool unique mechanic. mechanic. I think Ozma's really sick. Wait, hold on. You were very close. We're very close to getting put into another tier list. Ozma is really sick. It was basically like a boss mechanic, but it was only for one person specifically. It's supposed to be like one person becomes Dorothy, essentially. One person gets a buff that they're the only ones that can damage the little minions that Ozma spawns. So you have to kill all the minions first, and then you can kill Ozma. Really cool. I feel like, again, with these abnormalities that do kind of like a raid boss, you should also be rewarded for fighting the raid boss. That's what I feel like what mods should actually lean towards to. More White Knight stuff. Yeah, raid bosses should be the thing that mods should do now, because again, most people have probably already beaten Lobotomy Corporation. If you're playing a modded run before you beat Lobotomy Corporation, that's just fucking weird. Why are you fighting modded abnos in your first run of Lobotomy Corporation? No, I think that modded abnos should now be their own type of ending to look forward to, whereas your reward is getting some really sick looking gear or something. It should be kind of like how how Monster Hunter does its thing. Centipede, lol, Lamau even. Really funny. I love this guy when you're at 10 times speed. He's so goofy. He's so big, he's so long, and he just like does this weird little like coil up and like smack you type of thing. It's so funny to see. Love this guy. Char of Hades, fuck this guy. Jesus Christ, this has got to be like probably one of the worst ALEPHs. Oh my god, holy shit, dude. This guy is so brutal. When he breaches, he hangs on the ceiling of a main department. Only ranged people can hit him, and he causes one nugget to go crazy. And if anybody's in the same room as that nugget that's going crazy, you can't control those nuggets anymore, and they focus on that crazy nugget. You can't control them. That's the crazy part about him. They tunnel vision to that nugget, and you have no control over your nuggets anymore. It's a tough ALEPH. It's an ALEPH though. It's to be expected. Big surprise. Usually when an ALEPH breaches, you hit the retry button. I guess the main issue I have with it though is that it's very easy for it to breach. I think that's the problem with it. It's an ALEPH that you want to memrep once you get its gear. Dreaming Pond. I need to look at Dreaming Pond real quick. It's unique mechanics. I think the weapon's really cool. I think the armor's like okay. I like the design of the weapon though. Really nice looking. Dream Pond caused things to flood, I think. Yeah, so the mechanic of it was you had to balance out its Clyfoth, because when it hits 0, it turns departments into like a red pool, I believe. You had to keep balancing out the Clyfoth for this thing because it was very easy for it to get lowered and high, and it was pretty neat. When the work was all bad, the employee took black damage. The Clyfoth counter of Horrifying Pawn lowered. When the Clyfoth counter of Horrifying Pawn reaches maximum or minimum, bloody quarters will begin to appear in the facility. Yeah, there it is. I think this is a really cool design. Crown of Roses. This was John Raid Boss, but it's actually very close to being an ALEPH Pale Weapon Lamau. If it wasn't for the fact that it doesn't give you a Pale Weapon, it gives you true damage. Gosh, I actually really kind of want to put it in peak design because the armor for this thing, the armor and the weapon for this thing is so nice looking. I actually, you know, we'll put it in peak design actually. I love the armor and the weapon for this thing. The raid boss though, it's not all too great though. It felt like Apobird, where Apobird's really easy as well. Apobird was really simple because Apobird just loves teleporting, and the odds of Apobird teleporting into the exact room where all your guys are trying to kill Longbird's egg, because that's the first one you always go for, it's really slim. So Apobird just teleporting around all over the place doing absolutely nothing. It felt almost like that with Crown of Roses. You have to run around killing a bunch of flowers and then you can kill Crown of Roses. It's not that difficult of a boss fight. I kind of wish it was a little bit harder. And then it gave you ALEPH gear, ALEPH armor, and probably one of the best weapons that we've seen because it does true damage. You can kill Bina with this weapon without having to worry about her mechanics. That's how crazy this weapon was. We had thousands of ALEPH EGO. Of course it was easy. That's a good fair point. If I do another modded run, I think we're gonna do a Lobotomy Corporation run where we only use modded abnos. I think that's what we'll do. The only non-modded abno we'll have is basically Skullbro. It was like 30-40 typeless damage or something. Yeah, it was insane. It was true damage for a raid boss that wasn't even, it was like White Knight's tier levels of broken without having to deal with something as difficult as White Knight. So that no one will cry, I think it was funny. When you like increase the speed to like 10 times, it was really goofy watching him walk around. I like his armor though. His armor, his gear was called Red Sheet Sinclair. Silent Girl, put you right there. Dear God, Skin Room. I would put him in the fuck tier, but actually cool and unique mechanic. I actually do kind of like Skin Room. It's so confusing. He really throws you off so hard. He has so much energy that it looks like he's a Wa or an ALEPH, And then you research him. Oh, he's a Teth. What the hell's his problem? It turns out he is just a really energy heavy Teth. That's all he is. Really goofy abno. I like it. Don't like looking at it though. It's a room full of skin. It reminds me of the Garfield meme where Garfield consumes the entire house and he's like, I'm sorry, John. I was just so hungry. What the hell is this thing called again? It's the Madoka Magica. It was like sweet something. Sweet witch? Yeah. Did this thing even breach actually? I don't even think we let this thing breach at like, yeah. I think it was fine. We just didn't really get a chance to use it. Yeah, this was definitely in this. Actually, I feel like we should probably put this in Fae Lantern in here as well. No real chance to use it. We just didn't get a chance to touch it, really. We researched it. It's like a very fast King of Greed. Really? That's what it is? Huh, okay. Yeah, the weapon wasn't exactly that too crazy, I would say, either design-wise. I remember it looked like a bubble blower almost. Pianist, can I actually, hold on. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Pianist, cool weapon, cool gear. It was a WA that gave an ALEPH gear, but it wasn't pale damage, it was white damage, which I guess is fine. I don't think it was warranted for that though, because I don't remember it doing anything too bad. I think it was supposed to breach other abnos, but it never got the chance to. Yeah, the design is really sick though. Toy Factory. It's tragic. Lol the Mao even. It's a useless tool abno, sadly. Really funny though, because when a nugget goes in there too many times, they die and turn into one of them and then it breaches. Kind of wish it actually did something more than just that. It would be really cool if when the nugget dies and gets turned into one of them, you can kill the guy and then get gear out of it or something. Again, like trying to get gear out of tools would be really cool. That's like, I think one of the best ways to have a tool be useful or something. Lamau, ALEPH pale weapon, Tiamat, Jesus Christ, really cool, but for the love of God, fucking fix this thing, please. Oh, we're missing somebody. Oh, we're missing somebody. Hold on. Where is he? There he is. He needs to get thrown up here too. We'll just do these back to back. Tiamat, sick as fuck. Exactly what I wanted ALEPH to be. Really cool. Has Zayn gear, Teth gear, He gear, Wa gear, ALEPH gear, and then another ALEPH set. Absolutely amazing. Doesn't fucking work. Absolutely doesn't freaking work to the point where it soft locks the game. It needs to be fixed. It was really cool. I really wish I could fight this fucking thing. Pretty much Tiamat, what he did is he would spawn an ALEPH in the base, but the ALEPH does nothing but roams around, I believe. I don't even think it really did damage. And when its Clyphonth hit 0, I believe that's when it would spawn a Zayn, and the Zayn would run around in the base. And if the ALEPH and the Zayn meet up, it's supposed to make something happen, which I'm assuming is maybe a boss fight, but that never happened. As concerned, abnos fixed, yeah, which really sucks because the run's over. But if we do another run, I would love to fight this thing. It seems really cool. I love the design of it. Absolutely 10 out of 10 design. 10 out of 10 like everything on this freaking abno. It just didn't freaking work. It just didn't work. Something with DC Abyss Metal. Actually, probably one of the most broken ALEPH tier weapons we've ever seen in the game, because the freaking thing lets you teleport. The weapon lets you teleport around when you right click on something. You right click on a cell, you teleport there. You right click on an abno, you teleport there. Really cool. But again, it's broken as hell in a different way. It would spawn millions of abnormalities in the base called officers. It's supposed to be based off how many clerks died in the facility. It didn't work exactly like that. They would spawn millions of officers no matter how many people died in the facility, and it would just freeze up the game. In my run, it took 5 minutes. Clock's animation, 5 whole minutes. Absolutely wild. When I was doing that off-stream run, I had to sit there and watch the clock go off for 5 minutes because I didn't want to touch anything else while I was doing it. It pulled every dead person in the whole city. Maybe that's what I was doing. It counts everybody in L Corp's wing as an employee, so it just sucked everybody up into the facility. Mycene Orange Sheet, really cool. I actually really like the design of this guy. Cool, and mechanic is not too unique. I think the design is really cool though. I guess we'll put it in cool, unique design, unique mechanic. The design for it is really simple. It's just basically a green base suit, but it had like little like balls all around it, or like little dots, little like fuzzy dots on it. It's just like a really simplistic design, and I like the look of it. I just think it's neat. Yeah, this is the design of it. I just like it's really simplistic looking, really good gear because it's very fast, white damage, ranged, and very long. That's actually really useful and beneficial. It just looks really nice. I like the look of it. Where's my goat Philip? Oh, yeah, that's a good point actually. Crying Children got removed, didn't it? Did we get rid of Papa Bongi too? There's our boy, Zayn. tier, sadly, unfortunately. Really loved him though. 10 out of 10 design when he's at 10 times speed. Baby's first distortion. I guess was that our first distortion? Limbus's first, yeah. Like our first distortion was in Library of Ruin, obviously. It was before, so it was Canto 3 and then Intervallo and then Canto 4. The Great Grass Seed. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's one of you. Oh my gosh, there's two of them now. Dear God, there's two. Oh no, the Nuggets are intruding into the Backstreets. Here, I'm gonna like set you guys up here instead or something. This is not what he looked like when he breached. He was the giant version. Crying children, cool unique mechanic. We'll go with that. Yeah, I think we'll just do cool unique mechanic for him. Reverse Malkuth. Yeah, I think it was like he chooses a work that shows up in a cell and you had to do everything but that work. And when he breached, his breach was basically like the typical type of breach. He goes around and starts trying to murder people and such. Am I missing any other modded abnos? Why is the wheel not in this actually? I absolutely loved the wheel. I think the wheel was a great design. This is what tool abnos should strive for. Peak tool design. This is what tool design should strive for. I think this tool is really cool. There was gear behind the wheel, wasn't there? It claimed so many victims, that wheel. It sure did. It was great. I think we're basically pretty much close to being done with the abno tier list right here. Queen of Osaka. If somebody makes Osaka as a modded abno, would be really funny. That's what she should be. She should be a Zayn, and if she breaches, she just walks around the facility like Punishing Bird, and if she runs through your nugget, she changes your face to Osaka's eyes and mouth. Just like Bald is Awesome, how he changes your hair to being bald. I don't want to get Osaka. No, that'd be sick. Yeah, that's the kind of goofy shit that Zayn should be, man. That's what Zayans should do. It'd be awful to make. Would it? 2 days at least. Wait, Vostrum, do you think you could make? Don't. I'm not asking you to make more mods, bro. You're already working hard enough as is. You helped me make this thing. You're dealing with school right now. You're getting married. You're dealing with a whole lot of shit. Oh yeah, if anybody didn't hear, Voskrim is the main bro who's been helping me out with mods and such, and he's also getting married. Everybody congratulate him. Backstreets, you congratulate him too. If you don't, I'm fishing you. Or you're getting a worse fate than being fished. I love that so much. First time chatter, indeed, congratulations. That's so sick, actually. What could be a worse fate than being fished? Oh, you want to find out? We got a volunteer. Send his sorry ass to We Could Change Anything for 5 minutes. Voskrim, send Telethia into We Could Change Anything. We're gonna get ourselves some energy. There he goes. Might need to soundproof that a little bit more. It's okay, we'll rewind the clock for him later. I feel like Shinji with the congrats. You just get smarter, we're gonna bring it back. We'll rewind the clock for him in like 5 minutes. It takes a lot of effort to rewind the clock, you know? I think we're pretty much done with the tier list though. I think like the people who work on mods for Lobotomy Corporation do a actually insanely good job. And these are all really cool. The only bad part about pretty much any of these abnormalities is when they don't work and you really want them to work. It's like pretty much like Tiamat, Deep Sea Metal. Like again, these two are just so sick, and just like seeing the potential for them and then they just don't work is really crazy. But again, Tiamat is apparently fixed, which is really cool. Deep Sea Metal, I don't know if it's fixed or not. How do you even install mods? Lobotomy mod manager or something like that. I think we're pretty much done. This is the tier list for the modded run. Again, it was really cool seeing all these modded abnos.